Hello class, my name is Paul Perez, and what sparks debate today is the Federal Reserve. For more than 100 years, the United States has had a central banking system called the Federal Reserve that has monitored our national currency. However, the implementations of a central banking system is what sparks debate and what raises eyes today. The Federal Reserve system is unconstitutional, and the Federal Reserve should be appealed and removed along with its form of currency in exchange for precious metal standards. Before I get started, I would like to say a quote from industry giant Henry Ford. "It is well enough that the people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning." As I get started with my point number one, why we need to abolish the Fed. As Senator Ron Paul states in his 2009 book, End the Fed, it is and should be the mainstream cause to end the power and the secrecy of the Fed. It is my own view that ending the Fed will address the most vexing problem of politics of our time. It will bring an end to the dollar depreciation, take away from the government the means to fund its endless wars, stop its vast debts that will be laid for future generations, ending inflation and building prosperity, and putting an end to corrupt collaboration between government and banks that virtually defines the operation of public policy in post-meltdown era. As Senator Ron Paul has been fighting the Federal Reserve System for years within Congress, most recently, Senator Rand Paul has done some vital actions on removing the Federal Reserve System. As I dive into my second point on the policy on how we would remove the Federal Reserve, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky has done many things. Even recently, as far as January 24, 2019, and he's gone to as far as auditing the Federal Reserve, as what his website states that his government website states that he declared, "I audited the Fed is a grassroots-driven movement that has rattled the establishment and proven time again the difference concerned Americans can make against the odds. It's time for Congress to respond by passing the bill to hold a secretive Federal Reserve, the enabler of Washington's spending addiction, accountable to the people's representatives." That's what Senator Rand Paul had to say about it. And many people want to get abolish the Federal Reserve System in exchange for a gold and silver standard. Many propose, even including our founding fathers, who wanted a gold and silver standard instead of a paper form currency. Even author Murray Rothbard, who specializes his work on tackling the Federal Reserve, has wrote many books on tackling the Federal Reserve, and has stated and instead something that we could do to solve the problem of the Federal Reserve is to, and as he quotes, that is to abolish the Federal Reserve System and return to the gold standard, to a monetary system where a market-produced metal such as gold serves as a standard money and not paper tickets printed by the Federal Reserve. I would like to end this debate off by a quote from Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine was the influence on the American Revolution. Thomas Paine states, "As to the sum authority to any paper making or any paper of any kind, legal tender or in other language, a compulsive payment, it is most presumptuous attempt at arbitrary power. There can be no such power in a republican government. The people have no freedom and prosperity, no security where this practice can be acted." Goodbye, everyone.